Ladies and gentlemen, when I first saw this 1971 Ford Country Sedan with its Tote Motel camper, I thought my neighbor Gary had finally figured out how to combine his two favorite hobbies, driving and avoiding his family. I mean, this thing looks like someone asked, what if we glued a tiny house to a station wagon? And Ford said, why not? It's part car, part camper, and 100% proof that the 1970s were the Wild West of automotive innovation. Now, back to this glorious land yacht. The 1971 Ford Country Sedan is powered by a 400 cubic inch, 6.6-liter V8, pushing its considerable weight through a 3-speed automatic transmission. No turbochargers, no computers. Just pure Detroit metal that sounds like a grizzly bear clearing its throat. The rig rides on 15-inch steel wheels with power steering and front disc brakes, which I believe were Ford's way of saying, we care about stopping, but only a little. Up tops, it's the fiberglass Tote Motel camper, a genius creation that somehow manages to balance on the roof and tailgate without turning the whole setup into a seesaw. It's about 23 feet long, 7 meters, and 8 feet tall, 2.4 meters, which means you'll clear most bridges, probably. Inside, you've got jalousie windows, a skylight, and a sleeping berth that extends right over the roof. There's a kitchenette too, an icebox, sink, 2-burner cooktop, and a hood. Perfect for cooking bacon while hoping your propane tank doesn't remember it's empty. The cabin, trimmed in medium ginger cloth and vinyl, offers seating for 8, or 5 adults and 3 kids who'll spend the trip asking, are we there yet? The dashboard's got wood grain trim, a 120 miles per hour speedometer, optimistic, and a working AM radio, which I think is just there to remind you how quiet the car isn't. Air conditioning and horn don't work, but hey, roll down the window and yell. That's vintage air and sound combined. This beauty currently sits at a bid of $6,755 USD, around 6,300 euros. And honestly, that's cheaper than some e-bikes. Sure, it's got some rust and dents, but I like the most that it still runs strong and looks ready to take on Route 66. Just, at its own pace. If you ask me, the Tote Motel camper was one of the most inventive ideas Ford ever let happen. I think it's a shame they stopped making them, probably after someone realized they built the world's first aerodynamic brick. So, if you ever spot one of these beasts on the road, give it a thumbs up, or better yet, a standing ovation. It's not every day you see a station wagon carrying its own apartment. And hey, if you'd like to help keep CampAvto rolling and laughing, you can become a sponsor for just $1, less than a lukewarm gas station hot dog. The link's down there in the description. Go check it out before Gary drives off in his new mobile mansion.